because I didn't think about this until now, but I was just trying to send the gifts out, and it gave me some kind of error message, and it mentions gas. So if we gift something, do we have to have gas in our wallet that we're gifting, or is Decentraland covering those fees?
I don't remember. I have Saturday brain right now.
I
But
know. You,
I could ask.
sorry.
I'm like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I
I know,
can't
and I
remember.
hate having you come in on Saturday on your time, and then we're like peppering you with all the questions. But so I'll just write it down and see if it's, or I'll maybe
Yeah.
fill my
If you
gas tank up.
um our support team will know really fast. If you want to just drop it in the Discord, they'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Okay. It's just so much cheaper paying for this gas than real gas at this moment.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. And I do have to jump, but have a great 200. So excited for you guys and thank you for all that you're building. This is truly incredible that you did 200 weeks of this.
Thank you so much for coming in, and we appreciate it, and thank you for everything that you're doing behind the scenes and everybody on the team. Like, we might not know every little move, but like we're feeling the effects, I think, definitely from all these little pieces kind of coming together.
Glad it's coming through. All right, have a great weekend, everyone.
Cheers to another 1800 spaces. Oh yeah, Canessa, I didn't tell you, but you're locked in for another 1800 episodes. I locked in your contract. I forged your signature just last night. Um, so yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And I think I think gas. I think I'm out of gas in so many ways. But I'm guessing I can't send these out. So I'm gonna have to.
Polygon? Like what is it that you need? Polygon?
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've tried 3 different people to gift them something. I should try just sending something. And I keep getting a super long error message. And then it
Hmm.
says gas. Um yeah. So I don't know. I'll try sending myself something. Oh, and Lastrom, maybe Lastrom knows the answer. How are you, Lastrom?
Hey, good morning. Um, yeah, so I know the answer to that, and then I want to talk about something else. Companion app, companion website. The gas Decentraland subsidizes, um, but in their code, and I don't know if they've changed this from the documentation, but they only subsidize 10 transactions a day. So,
Ah,
so have
okay.
you sent out more than 10 gifts? You might
Yeah,
be getting hit with their rate limit for them
got it.
covering it. Yeah.
Okay, that's smart. I mean, it does kind of, it is like borderline like spamming these out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that it's more like, hey, well, you can gift a few things, but okay, that's super helpful. So I will go and do it the other way.
Well,
Interesting.
I don't know about that either because that's what my second follow-up was gonna be is
Oh.
go to the marketplace, go to an item, and then click, transfer
Hmm.
and try to transfer it. It's the same subsidy there as well. So if it fails there, then with the same sort of like long issue, then maybe you are hitting the rate limit. But um, that's why when you buy something, it has to be over $1. You can't like if it's under $1, they make you like pay the gas yourself. So what I would do is just go to marketplace and test a transfer to somebody instead of gifting it to them in the scene. It should handle the same pathway. And if you run into an issue, it's the limit. And if you don't run into an issue, then there's a problem with the gifting in world.
Okay, I will do that. Um, yes, I will let you know as soon as I
Cool.
can figure this out. Yeah, thank you. That's good to. I didn't think about that, but I'm glad. I know. I was also thinking there's a limit that they placed on the ability to mint stuff out to people. I think it's like 50 NFTs at a time. So like if I have 100,000 Pudgy Penguin emotes, I can't just spam. I just like if I was mad, I can't just mint 100,000 to you. and you can only like mint 50 at a time. So I was thinking, gosh, maybe that's also for that reason. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a gas issue. That's part of their contract that the max batch amount is 50, and it gets into um, a very technical term, but the blockchain can only handle so much input. So if it allowed 100,000 inputs, right? Like think of all of those wallets, 100,000 wallets, every little character, every little word, letter, costs gas. That's really what it is, right? So they said, you know what, we're just going to cap it at 50. And we know 50 wallets will never fail because of like too many wallets, too much gas.
Interesting. That makes sense. Okay, this worked. I can send it right from my wallet.
All right, so then we're kind of pinpointing the issue, maybe that there might be a gifting issue then in
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
Good to
agree
know.
with you guys were saying earlier. And then I just want to talk about the companion website because in an hour I wanted to test it, and I actually wanted to challenge Knessa and Sinful to use it next week as well. Um, and we're gonna try to host. I don't want to get banned on X, but call it a hangout, call it a space, call it a meet, call it a Zoom. I don't know what's the new word here, instead of a space, but use the Decentraland infrastructure to replace some of our disparate apps and things so we can always stay connected. Um, and essentially, everyone on X, like here, is kind of already in world, right? Maybe not. And I'm curious. I would love to know because I don't host spaces anymore, but how many people that don't know Decentraland come from X into Decentraland because Decentraland does provide through your community like live stream voice chat. And with the companion app, we can couple that with text chat in World. So the people inside Decentraland can listen to that same voice chat from inside Decentraland, but outside Decentraland on their phone, on their computer, basically like a space. And that's what we're going to test in an hour.
That's crazy. Okay, my brain's trying to wrap around it. That is cool. Well, let us know. Yeah, let us know how we can help, and we don't, want anybody to get banned from X. But um, Sebgen World says, I don't understand anything about X. Is it possible to be in space and watch the video without being disturbed by the sound? I can't mute the video sound. So it's, oh, and then misconduct is, oh no.
Yeah, X has been very
Gosh.
weird with its appeal stuff. Or, I mean, yesterday I
Yeah.
got like a warning for like a post that I made, and it was like tagged for like graphic violence, nudity, whatever, and it was like not any of that. So I like literally appealed it and said, this reply is falls does not fall into any of the reasons you gave, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we were wrong. Sorry."
Yeah, I was just being cheeky, like saying we're no longer using X spaces. And if they hear us on the voice chat or something and like ban me for that by using Decentraland services, that's what I was just giving the
Yeah.
warning because it is actually really cool. So if your brain is melting, I mean, the whole point of the X space and you streaming on X is like for people like me right now. I don't have Decentraland open. I have three different masters screens, and that's why I'm up so early today. Is that I masters max all weekend, and so I just don't have Decentraland open. But what I can do is listen on X, right, and maybe watch your live stream. What the companion site does is like forget X and just put it all on this website where I could watch your live stream and communicate, listen to the voice, and type in the chat. Like the X Spaces is missing everything that's happening in Decentraland, right? The chat, the voice, the stream, sort of. So we put all of the Decentraland services on this website that you can tap into. And it's really amazing. I think this might be my. I don't want to say myself. I don't want. I think people can change, but I am sort of a hypocrite in the sense that I hated where my projected like thought where Decentraland was going from you being a virtual world to just being decentralized services. And I was like, oh man, that would suck if we lost the virtual world and Decentraland just became like these systems that we don't know about, like AWS, right, for the metaverse. And I didn't want that because I had so much fun building in the metaverse. But then over time, as the platform got more stable and these services got more robust, I'm thinking they're not going to replace or like take away from the virtual world. They're just going to enhance the connectivity on the go and across other digital spaces by utilizing these services. So that's what we're really trying to do. We're not trying to replace Decentraland or say never go in. We're just trying to give more people access.
Yeah, and I think that the Android and the new mobile like shows what access will do. Because I mean, I'm always like like hard to change. Like I love my PC. I'm like, oh, it's good, it's fine. Everybody will download the app, but like the reality is they won't. And so being able to like kind of break down some of those barriers, I think is super helpful. And just I don't know, like summer is coming up, travel. I'm like, man, there's so much of Decentraland I miss out on because I'm not by my computer, or my computer is on like the hotspot. Last week I ran out of data, so I could no longer, access it. So I think really making it like where you can access, whether it's full access and your avatar is running around, or just the companion app where you're like at least still part of the conversation and able to, talk with people. Like I think that's way more flexible, um, and meeting people's needs where they are. I think is what like that's what's going to win the race at the end. Is like people are either going to access it because they can, or they're not if it's too complicated. So kudos to breaking down some of those walls.
Yeah, I think Kim is a great example too. She always she has a family and kids and running around on Saturdays. She taps in to the X spaces. She may or may not be um, into Decentraland in the morning, but staying connected to the social app, whether you're in your scene at La Cantina or not in Decentraland or in a world or building elsewhere, the community voice chat is super powerful. And I want us to all to try to use it. I know Alan is using it greatly with his Genesis radio community. So he basically took a community and said, I'm going to have a voice chat and just like play a radio so you could tap in. So think of like communities inside Decentraland now are no longer bound within Decentraland. So if you guys were speaking in the community voice chat, which we're going to test in an hour and 45 minutes, I could be listening on the companion site um, in the grocery store on my phone, not in Decentraland, or somebody could be like play testing their own scene, but still tapped into the voice chat um, across Decentraland as well, right? So that we're trying to expose and highlight like all the great services that keep you connected to your Decentraland friends. So I would love for you guys to try it out too, where your space becomes the voice chat, right? And that's where I was asking, like, how much of X is getting the intake into Decentraland, or sort of the point of it, or where's like we're gonna post on X and then everybody could tap into your voice chat, and that voice chat is connected to the people in scene, so those people could hear the people on the companion site and vice versa.
I mean, definitely a great point, but I mean, I guess another factor of X would be the discoverability factor, just random people being able to jump in and find us. Not everyone will know about the companion app outside of our small cult here. So like there is kind of that factor that comes into play for Twitter Spaces. For example, last week we had the one of the founders of Community of Communities pop in saying they just found us through a mutual friend that had pulled up to our space, and they were very happy that they met us. Now they're going to be a guest on Beyond the NFT on Monday. Um, so yeah, I guess there's still those factors into play, and that is personally why I do not like try to convince Canessa over here to like let's do it in world.
Well, I think we get siloed, even here. Like I look at the audience, we're pretty siloed right now. I know you guys all like we're like fam, right? Like there's not a ton of fresh faces. I think just X right now. I think the NFT space, it is what it is. It comes and goes. But can you like okay, this thought came to my head. There's this website. I don't know if it still exists, but it's called Tailwind. So if you're a social media person, and like at the time I was promoting a different business I had, and I was trying to post and stay active on Pinterest, on Instagram, I think on YouTube. Didn't do TikTok at the time, but like it is overwhelming, and you have all of this content in different places, and this app Tailwind would allow you to make one post and then it just puts it everywhere. And so my brain is going to the companion app of like, what if you were, you're live on a, this is crazy. You're live on an X space, you're in Decentraland, you're streaming on Twitch, you're streaming on YouTube. Like it's impossible to manage concurrent conversations in all. Like that's why I can't talk in world and talk here out loud. Like my brain can't handle it. But what if that companion app was kind of like the Tailwind, where it's just one conversation, and then your Twitch convos still your YouTube convo, and then somehow still in world. I don't know if that's even possible, but it seems like that would be one place where, like, one voice, one conversation, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, I mean, there's definitely challenges. That's why we're trying to figure out what that discoverability is because, you know, if we could tap into X, right? That's the thing. We just can't in Decentraland. So we're trying to like bring the Decentraland voice outside of it, right? Like outside the walls of the client and the mobile app. And now it's on a website. And whether the foundation wants to help with discoverability or we change the name or something, I'm totally down for that. Where it's like, okay, here's this very lightweight social app website called an app. It's just a web app website that you can tap into and see what's going on in Decentraland. And I'm in it right now, and you can. It's really amazing. It's really fun. So I don't want to take up this space for it. We're gonna have one in 40 minutes. So come and listen and test and see what it's like, because we're going to try to only do it from the voice chat in Decentraland. Whether you are in the client and you're listening to the community voice chat, or you're on the companion site, we're just going to try to do it that way and see what happens. So I would invite you all to come and tap in on your phone or on your desktop. You could listen as a guest or sign in with your account. But appreciate you guys having me up here. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess like one from I like logged in the other day as a guest and stuff like that, and I kind of like started thinking because like and I don't know if this question has been brought up to you yet. When it comes to trolls using the companion app as a guest, like in the world, I don't believe there was a way to be able to block the individual due to them not having a handle or something like that. Um, have you kind of like started like thinking about like how this could be negated. Like imagine someone just screaming the N word, just spamming it through the companion app, and there's no way for like even users in Decentraland to like block them or even know who it was really. Like if it's like a name that's correlated to a wallet address or whatever.
For sure. I mean, I don't want to say like it's a sneaky part out loud, but I'm probably going to most likely get rid of the guest access. It's just for very easy testing, and seeing if things work, right? Without having to log in with my email and then I get the link and then I go back for my email and then I go back to the website. You know what I mean? Trying to figure that out. And so, again, I'm doing all this on my own. If this foundation has a better way of managing the mobile sign in, I'm totally down to have them do that. But yeah, the guest is really, it's kind of like a public backdoor right now to just test the features. And while we're not 100% on the logins, although you can log in with the Gmail, we're working on that, X, Discord, or your wallet. Um, just testing these features for now. We're gonna leave it up until we really feel comfortable with, like, okay, how what's the less barriers to entry, the least friction way on mobile to sign in? Because I think they've actually removed from Decentraland, you can't just join as a guest anymore.
Correct. I think it's like, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see it at least yesterday when I was logging into the mobile app. Um, but yeah, yeah. I do like the, the experiments, the like, because it was really cool. Like, I guess we can call it like maybe even version one of the companion app. Like, hey, like, you're finally able to get into the Decentraland, and not have to be in world, or at least use the chat in the Decentraland, not have to be in world, or have the app downloaded, like as a Decentraland light version. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
this is 9 a.m. for my time,
yeah.
Pacific. And any other time, maybe there's a video on Fridays or something. I just see it as like, you're not going to roast your phone if you want to tap into the mobile site and watch a live stream and stay connected via chat with your friends. But then you could also listen, like podcasts, listen, without roasting your phone, right? Maybe people wanted to, like, just stay. And again, X does that for us now, but on X, we're not getting any of that feedback, voice or chat, from Decentraland. And that's what we're trying to solve. And we have solved it, and we're going to test. I just tested before. We added recordings now. So now we can record, manually record if you want, click the record or stop record, the voice chat from Decentraland. So your community voice chat, you can have recordings, and then on the companion site, you could go back and replay those. So I think it's a really cool feature as well. Again, like for podcasting or something, services outside of Decentraland. But as soon as you do that, you bring all of the people from Decentraland to wherever that outside service is, which is really cool to keep that connectivity. So I saw AJ come up. I'll stop talking now.
What's up, AJ? Oh, maybe he can't hear us. AJ, AJ, hi. Or maybe he was like talking, and we just couldn't hear him. You're still muted. And while we wait for AJ to fix his mic, say good morning to Mariana. Hello, hello. What up, Kwan? Hello, welcome. Sebga. Let's see who else is a new listener here in the space right now, or someone that's just popping in. Alan, Fancy, Beepcoin. Hello, hello. Oh, this is cool. I just found a maze over here behind La Cantina. Well, small maze.
What'd you find?
Small maze.
Boy,
Thought you were behind La Cantina.
I didn't put a maze back there.
It's one of our neighbors.
Is it me or is it somebody else?
It's Metabeast.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait a second. Like, I did make a maze this week, but I didn't deploy it. So I was like, it
Yeah,
doesn't
come,
take.
come, come through the maze. Come on, come.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
How can I not when you talk like I'm a ferret? Like,
Well, I have training.
I know.
Speaking of a ferret, where the fuck is it? Oh God.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Were you scared?
I mean, losing a ferret, probably not a good
Oh,
thing.
no, no. I was referring to the maze.
Oh yes, yes. I'm scared. That jump
You,
scare.
you see, you like cut the corner first thing you see is like a bunch of purple dudes and shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Let's see. Odd job. Are you there? I'm sure Odd job is somewhere between here and there, and he'll be back. Um,
Yes, yes. It's touching grass, doing the thing. All right, now that I'm back to what? Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought the space rugged. Our first space randomly rugged. It was very, very weird. But I just let Meta Beast up. I just lost my biggest fan over here that's been following me around all stream.
I have a question for you guys. That's funny. You guys just you went in there. I just deployed that last night. But do the purple guys look glitchy? Did they look?
yes,
Okay, good,
Affirmative.
yes.
good. At first, I was like, "What is going on here?" And then I thought about it. I said, "Oh, actually, that kind of works a little." So, but what I really wanted to do and was trying to do was play on limitations within Decentraland. So you have things that are coming that are supposed to be coming from land that's not yours. So the single hand is the best example. So it's like somebody from would be on your side there, I think, Knessa, um, sticking their hand into mine, and then the worm creature thing in at the end of it there is coming up from the ground, which is another another restriction. If that makes any sense.
I have to run back to it.
Because you know how things would, if you have something extend off your property, it gets cut off.
Well, it should. It should, but it doesn't always.
No,
Like,
no, okay.
no, I mean, I think I'm guilty of it. Um,
Canessa encroaches on everyone's
Well,
airspace.
I know Greensifer did something with his too, and I know me and Bitcoin were trying to do something with rainbows so we could um for the St. Patrick's Day, but it would break the collider for me and him, but it didn't seem to do that for Greensifer on his because he like totally built above somebody else's next to him, and you could still walk on it.
yeah, I feel like there's some, I don't know, I would say like cleaning up maybe that maybe needs to be done on some of that, because starting at least in the fall there would be that, like when we did the art exhibit, there was a boulder from a default scene that stuck into, like, I think it's Sinful's land, but it was like the I don't know, like it was over in their scene, and I don't know why it didn't change, but I feel like it used to be cut and dry, like nothing would overlap with other scenes. And then when I did the ski jump, it was like, I mean, it wasn't just kind of on his land, like Metaryuk's. It was giving me the description of Metaryuk's land when I was on my staircase. So I don't know if it's like they gotta tighten up the something like the boundaries. It kind of, I don't know. I've done some other things that kind of tell me a little bit more about like where limitations are, like what, yeah, what things are allowed and what aren't. And so yeah, yeah, I don't know. Actually, now I'm like, okay, I have a new theory I'm gonna have to test.
Remember crap. Like during the parkour in the sky, like part of your land would go over like someone else, or part of the build would go over someone else's, and you had like smart wearables turned off for like the main portion, or where the parkour was supposed to be at. And then like whenever we would go out to the other land or someone else's land, the smart wearable would activate.
Oh, well, okay, so that's actually very, very logical.
Ah, yes.
Um, like the idea, if you were just running around on the ground, I think it would make perfect sense because you'd be on our land and then you'd run across the scene to somebody else's and then you'd run back to our land. But I think when you're up in the air, it just you don't get that. You don't It's just harder to see that boundary, which is why people were like glitching or like it was pausing for a second because really the scene is rendering my scene and then it suddenly has to like you're moving fast. I don't know if gliding is faster than running, but it'd be like running across the Decentraland as fast as you can, and sometimes it takes a second for a scene to load that you step onto. So I think it was those moments when you're like going between those scenes and we don't realize it just because we're super high in the air. You don't see it, but that is it's really interesting, and I feel like it's actually just imagine like that is such a monumental feat, really, that we can do that at all, like on an open world and just seamlessly be going like flying from one scene to another. That's freaking off the hook. Um, I didn't realize about the smart wearables though, so I might have to test that. Was it the KJ Walker shoes?
Yep, yep.
Gosh, there's so much we could test because I'm like, what would happen if smart wearables were left on that scene? Because there's something else so weird. Something else. Sorry, like speaking so fast, my words aren't working. Um, in preview, if I wear those smart shoes that let you jump, I hit a collider. I hit like a box above the scene and I can't get in it. It's the weirdest thing. So I can't wear those shoes when I'm testing the build. And I almost wonder like is that just like the limit to those shoes like as high as it goes? For some reason those shoes create this box around it. But if I and sorry if I can't explain this well, but if I step off of the land into somebody else's parcel and come back, then I can get into my scene. So smart wearables definitely, they add some like some tomfoolery to everything.
Yep, yep. I remember you were trying to make the parkour in the sky Derek proof. Is there audio right now? Oh no, don't
I
tell
think
me
we
that.
lost audio again.
Yeah, yeah. Let me check and see if the server's fucking up again. Well, at least we're streaming. Yeah, okay, at least I'm streaming here and you know, it's not cutting off in any other thing except for Decentraland. Because like I had all the other streams just work just fine. Well, now it's about to all get cut off because I'm gonna cut it off. And this time it took about 30 minutes, 33 minutes for it to do this shit. Hmm. I'm wondering if it's like this specific server or if it could be like the central land itself. That way through one I could just like focus on streaming to all the socials, and then on the other I could focus on the central land streaming, so then if I have to cut the central land stream, I don't have to cut everything else.
Okay, Toxic is saying she's got video right now on
What?
desktop.
Well, if she were to reload right now, she wouldn't have. Well,
Okay.
maybe she would again because of I just restarted the stream.
Okay. And then Empress has it now. I don't
Yep.
know. It's a lot of moving parts. I mean, I think it is probably time for a new computer for every one of us. I don't know about you guys, but man, my poor little thing like it just seems like it's turning on the fan way more than it used to. And then somebody posted, gosh, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but somebody posted a picture of how much RAM the, the Decentraland app is using. I think I said that right. Is that right? The RAM is like the processing power, like right,
It, if
like
we saw the same picture, it may have been from Billy T Coin, and I think he was just
yes,
referring to like
yes,
the Decentraland page.
yes.
Like here, I have Decentraland pulled up on Brave, and I hover over it, and it's using 687 megabytes of data, or yeah, memory usage. Well, like everything else, like OpenSea is like at 342. Uh, Restream YouTube are at like 350. Holy shit! Open Page is at 600 as well, so it's in competition with Decentraland. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to claim uh Hayabusa's first OP. I just dropped it in the chat.
Yes, yes, yes. I gotta remember to pick that up. That is awesome. And if you haven't gotten the emote, just let me know. I think I get everybody, but sometimes if I'm talking, it is possible to miss one. Sorry, sorry for human error. And remember to grab the OP badge underneath for this today. And hopefully everybody knows where that one is. Down below, La Cantina. So MetaBeast, are you going to continue? Are you going to build more with your maze back there?
No, that's that's where I just put little experiments now and then. For now, different things I'm working on. But I have the amazing art gallery, which is a maze. Two right currently two level maze. Considering a third, and I'm actually working on changing it for a little while to be a kind of a history or remembrance of Decentraland through images I've taken throughout the years. I just wish I knew how to do it quicker, how to change the images quicker.
It's got to be some there's got to be some automation where you could have like a Google like Dropbox and then have something like, hey, drop every one of these pictures in this scene. I don't know. I know it's placing stuff is time consuming and tedious.
Or even if they had something like that for Blender, which maybe they do and I just don't know it.
Yeah, they might.
It's also time consuming trying to put them all into put the number of pictures you want in onto one canvas so that it only counts as one what texture or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that like for me right now is my one of probably my biggest challenge is like reducing the amount of memory. Um yeah, reducing the amount of memory because like all of these images here, especially Cantina, because I built it and I didn't really understand the textures and how much I think I'm saying this right, that it's like the memory or the megabytes. Anyway, it takes up a lot, kind of like triangles. So the last week I kind of almost freaked out. I almost crashed out chat. Like a few of us we could not deploy anything to our scenes and it was giving us the triangle limitation. And so I was like, good lord, if they just like randomly decided on a Monday afternoon that they're just going to enact triangle limitations again, I that is the that is the one thing that will make me just step away from this platform. I don't know how long, but like triangles, if they ever do that, if they ever enact them, you guys check on me, call your call your neighbor. So anyway, like, because these older builds that I did, there's so many triangles because I didn't know how to build really good, like, not like efficiently, and then the memory, or like the size of the files. So like this year when I went to the Mardi Gras scene, I'm like, who made this monster? Like, I didn't realize that, one picture could have like 4,000 megabytes. Like, I put in a few pictures and it maxed out the scene. So I think I found some go arounds, like use JPEG instead of PNG, and then store a bunch on the same image, not just, one image per asset, which is what I was doing. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's people smarter than me. I'm looking at you, Roostone, um, that know how to do this, but like, and I can only imagine the AI could, like, or a plugin could be like, okay, here is the most optimized, version for you. So we'll see. Time will tell, because I want to use a bunch. I want to build bigger, and then that's going to be a problem.
Well, I think that's what the Decentraland plugin for Blender that I think Dr. Drip mentioned last week or recently. I think that's one of the things it's trying to do, because there is like optimizing your textures or materials or something feature on there. I haven't played too much, and the only person I know that's really been playing with it is starts with an M, but he's been doing something with avatars and using the Decentraland plugin too. Metaversal.
Markverso? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Markverso.
them.
Yeah.
They've been using it, the Decentraland plugin, I think, quite a bit.
Yeah, I need to check on their scene. They have some cool seeds growing on the ground, and I want to know more. What are these?
So they're like literally growing seeds slowly.
They look like seeds. They look like they're all kind of the same level. I'm trying to see if Marversal is here. So I don't know that they're growing. They look like they were, uh, maybe they were planted all at the same time. Yeah,
Because
don't know.
that makes me wonder, because I know I had spoken to an artist. This was 4 or 5 years ago, before ETH went explosive for the gas fees. But he had and I know there's been other things typed like this, like Pizza Pets or whatnot. But he had done. You purchase the NFT of an orchid seed. You have to cultivate it for so long, and then it blooms into the final version. Then you don't have to worry about so much. But it became, you know, around the time he did it is when gas fees blew up, and so it would be way expensive to have done it. But I'm wondering how, if that is if there's a way for that to be and uh, introduced into Decentraland. But then also, I don't know if people are familiar with Upland, which is a very, very different type of metaverse. And for some reason is very popular. But they've introduced seeds, and coming up, I think starting next week, you'll actually be able to plant them, and they will require. They say they're calling it petting, so give your give your plants some attention here and there, and a couple other things to nurture it and make it grow. So I don't know how all that works, but I would think there would have to be a way it could be done in Decentraland.
That is awesome, and I bet there is. I mean, I mean, really, wouldn't it just come down to like the metadata? I know there's one NFT project that I have wanted to buy, and I have to think, did I buy that? I don't think I did. They were too expensive. I should go back and look. But it's these little cute little critters, but they and each one is tied to a cryptocurrency. So there's like a whole line of like Ethereum critters, and a whole line of Bitcoin critters, and a whole line of Cardano. But their mood will be dependent on how that coin is doing in the market. And so if you log in and your little critter is like sad and like breathing heavy, your fucking your crypto went down. Or if it's like happy and jumping around, then your crypto is up. So like that level of responsiveness, yeah, like and if they can program that in, I mean, it all just would be. I love it when a non-coder like myself is like, it'd be easy. They just have to plug in the metadata, and I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
But
and because there's another NFT that I had purchased that specifically says this NFT will change how they do it, it how they did it, whatever. I guess it's in the contract setup or something. But literally, it'll be one art piece one day, and you'll come back sometime later, and it has updated and changed into something else. And then there's even this was probably the coolest thing I think I've seen in NFTs in a long time. I don't know if people are familiar with OK computers, but they're literally a computer that you can access through the NFT, and you get like 50 kilobytes, which doesn't sound like much, but I guess with if you code it right, you can actually do a lot. You can actually create something on your OK computer. So I had like an animated back or animated simple animated thing. Greensifer created some whole art creating UI inside his. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just blew my mind. I thought that was the coolest thing. I can't believe they weren't more popular than they are, but I can't wait to see what comes next with them.
that's so crazy. I mean, just the fact that people are coming up with these ideas, I think I think that's so awesome.